Good afternoon, everyone. It's always wonderful to have our family, our school family, gathered here together for special occasions, and especially today when we're here for a very special occasion, and that's our Memorial Day Assembly. Now, we all know that Memorial Day isn't really celebrated until Monday, but we usually would have it on Friday, but tomorrow's a half day, and we wanted to make sure that we had plenty of time to spend together to celebrate this special occasion. So it's great to have everyone gathered around the flagpole this afternoon. So we're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. So we'd like everyone to face the flag. I know you have to kind of look up and a little bit into the sun that's peeking out there. With your hand over your heart. Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now, Mrs. Brewster is going to lead us in the Star-Spangled Banner. Very nicely done, everyone. You know, the fact that we are here gathered around the flagpole, I'm sure it tells you that this special holiday has something to do with our country, and it does. Memorial Day is a day when we take time to stop and think about people who have done a lot for our country. The word memorial has like the word memory in it, so it's a time for us to stop and remember and to think. And we like to take this time to think about the people who especially have done wonderful things for our town, for our state, and for our country. And some of those special people are the people that serve in our military. That is the Army, the Navy, the Marines, the Air Force, the Coast Guard, and the National Guard. These people have served our country very well, and they make sure that our country stays safe and strong as possible. And I know that probably many of you have people in your families that have served in the military. And so on Memorial Day, we always like to take some time to stop and think and remember. So right now I'm going to read a list of some people who have been members of our school family who have served in the military. First of all, I always stop and think on Memorial Day of people in my own family. And my father, who served in the Army, my uncle, who was in the Marines, and I had two other uncles who were also in the Navy. And then my nephew, not too long ago, he was in the Marines. And then we all know Mr. Gleason, who works very hard to take good care of our school. Well, he also at one time served in the Marines, taking care of our country. Mrs. Hurley's son-in-law, Captain Mark Robinson, serves our country in the Navy, and he's actually the commander of the USS North Dakota, a huge Navy ship. Mrs. Murphy White's brother, Colonel Jack Murphy, is in the Marines. And her stepfather, David Daffrin, was a member of the Air Force. He was an officer, and he's now retired. Mrs. Merritt's son-in-law is right now serving in the Army way up at Fort Wainwright in Fairbanks, Alaska. And he's a helicopter mechanic. His name is William Maldonado. Mrs. Longley, she has a good friend in the service. Her good friend Kelly Winslow, who actually came through school here at HOD, is a helicopter pilot serving in the Coast Guard. Mr. Goodwin has a friend, Denzel Parker, who's in the Army. Mrs. Krause's brother, Michael, went to the Air Force Academy and was a lieutenant colonel, and he still works at Hanscom Air Force Base as the Chief of Electronic Systems Development. Sounds like a very important job. So when you think those are all the people that we know of right now in our school family that are serving in the military or have recently served. So that's a lot of people that we need to think about. And right now, those people served in the country, and the symbol of our country, the biggest symbol of our country, is right in front of us here as we look up the flagpole, our flag. And I know that Mrs. Boosters has taught you a song called My Flag. Very, very nicely done. I love that song. You know, I know someone else who would love that song too, and that would have been Miss H. Olive Day, who our school is named after. Because Miss Day, as I've told you before, she grew up in this town. She lived in Norfolk her whole life. She was a teacher and a principal a long time ago, back when we had the old Freeman School. Not the new Freeman Kennedy School, but the one that was there a long time ago. And she always made sure that the children in her school celebrated Memorial Day, and that we knew what Memorial Day was all about, and that we honored the people who served our country. So she would be very, very happy to hear that song. She also was a person who always went to the Memorial Day Parade in Norfolk, and I know that will be held again on Monday. So maybe that's a parade that some of you will be going to and celebrating, and you can think of Miss Day there. So right now, we're going to just take a moment and have a moment of silence when we're going to stop and think about all those people that we have been talking about. And we can include Miss Day in that because she did so much for the town of Norfolk too. So let's just take a moment to stop and think. Okay, we would need much longer than that to really think about everyone that we're thankful for, but that's all the time that we have for right now because we're going to sing another song. Right, Mrs. Boosters?
God bless the USA.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very, very nicely done. Miss H. Olive Day would be very proud, not only to be an American, but that the children in the school named after her are singing so nicely about that. So we thank all of the men and women who have served our country and have done so much for us. And we have some people right here, too, that we can thank for today. We can thank Mrs. Boostris. Did Mrs. Samirsky do some of the piano, too?
For the concert.
For the concert, okay. Mrs. Uziel, I know, for music classes as well. And of course, we have Mr. Peasy, who is here to do all the technology for us. And Mr. Gleason, who serves us well every day for setting everything up. And Ms. Jacobs from Norfolk Community Television for recording this so that your parents and families can enjoy watching this at home. So thank you all very much for doing such a nice job. Spend some time this weekend thinking about all those people we've been talking about. And how about if we sing Proud to be an American while we walk back into school? Thank you.